In this video, I'm going to show you my favorite crypto yield farms for July 2024. These are ways to earn yield with your crypto or to qualify for airdrops this month. Welcome back to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick. As a reminder, nothing in this video is financial advice, and this is solely intended to be used for educational purposes. Now let's get into it. Before we go through the top yield farms for this month, a few quick rules to help keep you from getting wrecked. First off, you shouldn't ever buy tokens just because you see a pool that has high APR that you can put the tokens into. Sometimes you see these pools that'll have 1,000% interest and it's all from inflation, and that's how you get badly wrecked. You buy a token that's being inflated massively and ends up down 90%, and then the interest doesn't really matter. The proper way to look at yield farming, whether it's for DeFi, for airdrops, is that the yield, the airdrops, they're like the icing on the cake. But the cake is the token that you're holding. So the way I look at yield farming is it's a way to take your crypto that you already want to hold because either you're protecting your wealth or because you think that it's going to go up in price, and finding ways to compound that more by putting it to work. Second off, smart contract risk is very real. DeFi protocols get hacked, DeFi protocols get exploited. And so just like you diversify your portfolio, hopefully, you should also diversify your yield farms, because you never want to get caught in a situation where all your money is in a farm that gets exploited and you lose it. So keep that in mind with all of these things. All right, now let's get into this month's strategies. And I'm roughly going to show these from the ones that I deem to be least risky to the ones that I consider to be most risky. All right, so let's get started then. The first yield farm for this month that I like, and I've liked this for a while, is Jupiter's JLP pool. That stands for Jupiter Liquidity Provider. Jupiter is the leading DEX aggregator on Solana, and it's also the leading perp exchange on Solana. And the liquidity for their perp exchange is currently around $400 million. But despite the fact that it's large, they are offering a 53% APY. And where this stands out is this is actually not funded by token incentives. So these are people paying fees to trade on their perp exchange, and those fees go to liquidity providers. And currently it's come out to around a 53% APY, and it's been high for a while. It's actually been much higher in the past, but it's consistently been at a high rate for basically the entire duration of this pool's existence. And what's really cool about this, in addition to the high APY, is that it's an index fund of relatively top tier assets anyways. So the largest holding in this liquidity pool is going to be Sol at about 45%, followed by ETH at 11%, followed by BTC at 8.73%. And then you also have some stable coins to round it out, with USDC comprising 25.8% and USDT comprising 8.91%. So you have a situation where roughly a third of the assets are stable coins, reducing volatility. And then you have the rest of it in what I would consider to be blue chip assets as far as crypto goes: Sol, ETH, and wrapped BTC. And you can earn 53% on that. So this is a great one. I treat this as a place that I take profits into. Just note that you are acting as a counterparty to traders. On top of this, the Jupiter team has signaled that they are likely to do future airdrops of their Jupe token. And I think there's a good chance that a good portion of those airdrops are allocated retroactively to people who are providing liquidity on their perp DEX. Next up, we have another protocol on Solana. This is my number 2 yield farm, and that is Meteora. And while most of the protocols that we've been following on this channel to get airdrops on Solana have either already done airdrops or have closed the first season of their points programs, Meteora still has an opportunity. And what Meteora is, I've done a full video on it, is a liquidity platform where it doesn't have a DEX front end, but it provides liquidity that aggregators like Jupiter can tap into. And they have a few different types of liquidity, but their dynamic liquidity pools really stand out for both allowing you to provide easily concentrated liquidity, and also you are earning points towards a likely future Meteora airdrop. And so I would look at this, and again, I would find assets that I already wanted to hold on Solana, and I would deposit them here. There is a JLP Sol pool that could be interesting. There's also stablecoin pools. There's also Sol USDC. The next farm that I like is Anzin Finance. Anzin Finance is on Base, another one of my favorite chains, and they have a stablecoin that's backed by real world assets. And specifically, it's backed primarily by asset-backed private credit securities. And so they've built this stablecoin USDZ, and there's two interesting things with this. First off, you can provide liquidity on it and earn attractive yields. Currently, the APR on the USDC pool on Airdrops is 32%. Additionally, they have an ongoing points program for their likely future airdrop, and I think real-world assets are one of the top narratives of this year, so this is an interesting token to get exposure to just by farming your stables. And you can see here on their website, they break down the multiplier and points for all the different things you can do. You can hold it to get a 5x multiplier, stake it to earn nearly a 38% APY in addition to a 1x multiplier. You can also provide liquidity with it to earn a whopping 20x multiplier. So this Airdrop pool, you're both getting a massive points multiplier and also earning this nice APR. Now remember the stuff I said about stablecoins and smart contract risk earlier, and with stablecoins you also have to deal with peg risk. However, if you want to allocate some risk on funds to this, that maybe you just are taking a neutral market position, but there's still risk on, they're still exposed to crypto, then to me this is probably my top stablecoin farm right now. Note you will need a referral code to access this. Welcome to use mine, which I have right here. It's Y08Y1Z. I'll also paste that down in the description. The fourth yield farm I like this month is known as StormTrade. StormTrade is the leading perp dex on the TON network. TON is the Telegram affiliated blockchain that's been growing like crazy recently. I did a full video on TON recently that I'll link down in the description. But what I like about StormTrade is, first off, they've got pretty good yields, so you can earn a whopping 36.87% on JUSDT, that's a bridge stablecoin, or you can earn 8.6% on TON. And since TON has relatively low emissions right now, that's actually much better than the rate just for staking TON. On top of that, they have an ongoing points program. You can earn reward points right now, which are confirmed to eventually go towards a StormTrade token. So you're both earning yield and you're qualifying for this token. And one thing again is that these perp dexes, oftentimes they're one of the best revenue generators in DeFi. So it's a token that I wouldn't mind getting some exposure to. Finally, and this is actually going to be several protocols, is DeFi on Scroll. Scroll is a fast-growing Ethereum layer 2. It's been accumulating large amounts of TVL recently, growing from less than $1 million back in October to over $300 million deposited in DeFi as of today. And it hasn't really shown any signs of slowing down. On top of that, Scroll has an ongoing points program where you accumulate things known as marks for using assets on Scroll across a variety of DeFi platforms. And so what I'm going to look for here are platforms where I can either qualify for another airdrop or earn attractive yields while also earning these Scroll marks. So getting multiple farms in at the same time. And a few things that jump out to me on Scroll. First off, you have Pencils Protocol. Pencils Protocol is the second largest DeFi protocol by deposits, and it's classified as a farming protocol. And if you look at this here, then they have a whole bunch of vaults for a variety of assets, single-sided, and it shows you all the different things that you're qualifying for in the rewards by depositing into these pools. And they have different categories for ETH, BTC, and stablecoins. So depending on what you want to hold, you can actually put those to work earning these various different rewards over here on Pencils Protocol. Another one that I like is this decentralized exchange, Token Exchange. It's a liquidity layer on Scroll. It's been growing crazy recently, and why it jumped out to me is that on Scroll, it has some of the best APRs. For example, ETH USDC currently has an 81% APR, and wrapped staked ETH and ETH itself, so basically just exposure to ETH, has a 54% APR. Note that this protocol is significantly smaller. However, it's been growing quickly, and according to DeFi Llama, is both forked from Solidly and is audited. Reminder that if you want to get more frequent updates on attractive yield farming opportunities, then every week in my newsletter, I send out a farm of the week in addition to the top on-chain analysis, trends, and tools to help you with your crypto research. You can see I shared Storm Trade in there just earlier this week. For more videos like this one, be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.